have a card today that shows a new idea I had in one of my die concepts. I've done Gemini dies before, but this is actually a Tri-Gemini, okay? So we'll show you how it works as we go along, but I will introduce you to the other dies that we'll be using. We will be using from the Belgian collection, the Antwerp die, and from our triple Gemini dies, this is Centaurus. They're all named after constellations. And the sentiment is from our clear stamp set called Delightful Sentiments. Okay, going to be doing a bit of cutting first. So I've got a piece of blue Dusk card, and I'm going to be using the decorative insert from the Antwerp. So I'll pop that into place. Just give it a nice taping. Oops, center that. In fact, that's off a little bit. Let me just try that again. That looks a tiny bit better, about like that. And I'm going to use the center to this one, so we'll pop that into place as well. Just cut the middle out of that. Do it all at once. And from the Centaurus, I've got a cutting edge, a decorative die, another cutting edge, another decorative die, and another cutting edge. So you can use these together. You can use all three of them. You can take the center out, push these together and use them as one. So many different ways that you can use these die. So I'm just going to use this piece here to cut a decorative insert into the lower part of the card for now. I'll pop that into place and we'll leave that about like that. And run this through our machine here. Pop that onto our cutting plate. Give it a roll. Bring it back. Okay, let's check to make sure it's cut. That looks like it's cut well. I'll use the tool in one. We'll take out some of the bits. It's not going to get underneath the taped area, but that should do most of it for us. Oops. There we go. Take that off. We've got all our tape to take off. And this piece here. Pop that back onto our magnetic sheet. We don't want to lose our pieces. Same thing here. Okay. So now I've cut an aperture in the top, and I've got the upper half of my border done using just the decorative piece from the Centaurus. So what I'm going to do next is add a little bit of a shadow to it. And I've got one I've already done, but what you need to do is cut the same die in black, and then with a little bit of spray glue on the back of this, you just offset this ever so slightly and get yourself a really pretty shadow. So that's actually what I've done on this piece here, okay? Added a bit of pearls around the edge, so that's sorted. Now I've got some mounting foam on the back, so we're gonna go ahead and use that one next. So for the next step, I've cut the center from the Antwerp, just using the decorative piece out of a piece of white card, and I'm going to shadow that as well. I've got another piece, so I'm going to use a little bit of the spray glue here, and then bring back the black one and just shadow it behind here. Just lean into it ever so slightly and offset it so it's not quite behind the white one, and you can see you've got a really pretty shadow. It just makes that pop. Okay, so I'm going to put that into place behind this using my mounting foam that I've put on here to raise it up so you get that really pretty recessed look out of it. Okay, center that, and then the white from down here will show through the bottom part. That looks pretty good. So I've created our background. Now we're going to add a border. So I went ahead and cut just the lower piece of the Centaurus, which is this die here. And I've used this cutting edge and this cutting edge. Okay, I've done two of them in white and in black, and I've offset the shadow for the black one. And the second one we're going to use to create all the way across. So what I'll do is I'll trim it in half. Add a little bit of, in fact, let's just use some spray glue. That's easier. Do that one, and then do this one, and this one. There we go. Okay, so I want the top full piece to show first. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use this little piece here, which mirrors that shape. Okay, we'll trim off the extra bit. Pop this one in. In fact, that is just a little shy of glue right on the tip where I need it. So I'll pop a little more on there. There we go. That can mirror this side. Okay, give that a second to hold up. And then we'll put this right over the top. That should catch that and mirror along with that. Okay, and then we'll trim the extra bit right at the edge of the card. And that'll give you a nice full border going all the way across. The nice thing about this is it's a shorter Tri-Gemini die, but you can always use it to create longer illusions on your card. So that's really nice. I like that. So next thing we're going to do is pop this onto our background. I've gone ahead and done my usual paper piercing around the edge with a piercing ruler. I've matted it with the blue Dusk and the black to kind of bring in those same exact colors. Give it a pretty match. Pop that down like that. And we're going to do a sentiment, okay? So I've stamped a little sentiment, and what I was going to show you was the center from the Antwerp. We'll cut this out really nicely. Just going to give it a quick tape into place. Run it through. Oops, there it is. And I'm going to use the color cloud to do a little inking. I've got Decadent and Denim, and just let me show you, this is a deeper color, if you can see that, all right? So when you ink it, it's quite dark, but if you want a lighter shade, just use a piece of scratch paper, take off some of the ink until you've gotten it down to where it's very nice and pale, and then go in to your sentiment, and you can just add the slightest hint of color to it. So you don't have to worry about whether the color is actually too dark. It'll match really nicely. See how pretty that is? It's just an absolute shadow. I think it's so pretty around the edge. Okay, I've got one here I've done with a little bit of mounting foam already. And we will pop that right into the center of our card. There you go, easy peasy. Isn't that pretty? I just love the way that one looks. Hope you've enjoyed today's video.